Well, the agency started in 1910. I purchased the agency in 1982 from my wife's father. He had bought the agency from his father. So we started looking at COVU from the standpoint of your outsourcing of work, that we could shovel off to you all of the backroom stuff that takes up 70-80% of our time, which is not revenue producing. COVU was the only one that came to us with the thing that said, we'll do a stock sale, we'll keep the branding. Being willing to listen to what we wanted to do in our goals was the only reason why we continued with you.
How long you've had the agency for, Gary?
The agency started in 1910. I purchased the agency in 1982 from my wife's father. He had bought the agency from his father.
Wow, it's a long time.
It's been in the family since 1910. So
That's amazing.
So it would be my wife's grandfather that started the agency on a bicycle.
What's your book composition? Like if you want to break it down into like heavy commercial, personal line, and
We're about 85% commercial, and the rest of it is personal lines. And the commercial is made up of our primary would be contractors, whether they be dirt contractors, or we refer to dirt contractors, building contractors, or marine contractors. I personally handle all of the marine business, probably about 25% marine.
that's a lot.
I mean, our largest account is just under $1 million in the marine. Just one account. So, yeah, they pay us a lot of money, and they call us 24 hours a day. So I have my cell phone with me, and my boys have their cell phone with us, and so if they need something, they're taken care of immediately. They're used to that. So
Interesting. And curious, like how large was the agency when you took over it initially?
when I took it over,
Yeah.
about 500,000.
Wow. And now you've grown it to, I think, almost like 12 million premium, right?
Yeah.
Like roughly.
Yeah, so I mean but I could grow it tremendously if I had the support. But support costs money.
Yeah.
And I'm to the point of sitting down and saying, do I want to go out and put out $200,000 or $400,000, hoping that I'm going to stay in good health and all my boys are going to stay in good health, and we can have them train people to do all of the paperwork and processing, but then you got all of the overhead to it, the health insurance, babysit. They can't come in.
All the time you need to spend and all the others.
So I mean, being a small company, you're the payroll people, you're the tax people, you're the paper person. You do the postage, you do everything. And I looked at it and said so I pulled, my one son is really competent in internet marketing. Extremely. I have to tone him down because he generates so many leads that we can't handle it. And the worst thing is to have somebody call you and want something and you can't deliver it because you just don't have time. That's bad publicity.
Yeah.
That travels fast.
What did you think about COVU's concept first when you heard about like what we do? And you've been in the industry long enough to know also like a lot of other players and a lot of other solutions out there. So when you first heard about COVU, like what was your initial thoughts about the concept?
Oh, I thought it was good, and we did our research. We went out and talked to agencies that are currently using your service. We also talked to agencies using other services. We tried all of our carriers, Hartford, Travelers, Acadia, CNA, they all have their service centers. We tried every one of them.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. The customers would call us and say, we won't deal with them anymore. Either you take us back or we're going someplace else. But they weren't getting any callbacks. You would call them and they would have to reinvent the wheel every time they called them. Something that should have taken 4 or 5 minutes took them a half hour.
Yeah.
Because of the people on the other end, they were just jumping in and taking something and they had no idea what their customer was. Or you had to leave a message, call me back. I'm sorry, we're busy. Please leave a number. So we tried all of them and none of them worked.
And what about other solutions like VAs, staffing companies, and have you tried any of other, like, or even like doing it in-house? I know, like you mentioned, it's a lot of work, a lot of investments that you have to do if you want to like do it in-house. Like, how do you see these different options compared to COVU?
Well, we looked at the different options that were available. And after all of our research and talking with COVU, we thought that would be probably worth a try. And we thought that COVU would be the company to be able to do that for us. And we were willing to take the chance until Tassos got involved.
So like, why not selling it to us?
Made it go a little further than that.
So it seems like, so you were not, I'm sure like at some point, like you were thinking or considering selling your agency probably at some point. But when you started talking to COVU, you didn't come as someone that as a seller to sell it. So you wanted to use our outsourcing solution. But in the process, you basically were like, okay, not a bad idea. Let's just see what your offer is going to be. So you didn't basically, have you like talked to any other buyers in terms of like getting offers from different buyers and comparing it to COVU? And
when Tassos first approached us with a purchase order, I talked to my son and said, geez, maybe it's worthwhile looking. So we went out and we got offers from other carriers or from other purchasers. And I didn't like any of them.
Why not? Because the price was too low, or
they were looking for an asset sale and they wanted to change the name right up front, come in, they'd walk in, change the name, and Ford Insurance would be gone. Customers would, World for an example, one of my really good friends sold out the World. And then that was probably 2 years ago. In the last 2 years, the number of customers that have left him and come to us is unbelievable. They said, it's not the same agency. That's one of the things we looked at, and it's just not worthwhile.
And they basically wanted to like take away all the branding, all the identity of the agency, and you're not comfortable with it.
Matt and COVU was the only one that came to us with the thing that said, we'll do a stock sale. We'll keep the branding because not only are you known in New England, you're known in Texas and Florida and North Carolina, South Carolina, Oklahoma, California. And those seeds grow. I mean, you write one customer and they do a good job for them. And then they call us, and then their friends call us.
Of engaging with COVU, did you feel like well informed, supported from the very beginning in terms of communication and overall process?
Well, the process from the first time we spoke with you has been very good. And as far as being willing to listen to what we wanted to do in our goals was the only reason why we continued with you. I wanted to keep the agency name. I wanted to have the agency have the ability to grow. And it was just that fit. Everything fit.
What part of our like marketing message was like resonating with you the most?
Probably if you go to the owner, if you get that information to the owner, it is the taking the burden off of paperwork. That is the worst thing that we have, is our backroom paperwork that is, as I keep saying, is revenue supporting, but not revenue generating. It supports your revenue, and if you don't have that support, your revenue is going to go away. But if you don't have the time to bring in new revenue, then you get stagnant. So there's a happy medium there, and that's what we were looking at doing. And any owner of an agency will tell you is that the service of the revenue is important, but it takes this tremendous amount of time. And if you can get some trained people that will do it right, service the customers correctly, and know enough when to say, I don't know, but I'll transfer you to somebody that can help you. There's no fault in saying that I don't know the answer, but I'll get the answer for you, and then do it.
How do you feel about the future growth of your agency now that hopefully we get like all the support that you needed for your agency?
I think the moon is the limit. I mean, the growth is so potential. If we keep it going the way it is going, it'll be a very good company.
Any specific opportunities that you would see?
No, I mean, it's general growth. You want to stay away from the low margin business. I mean, you're right to low margin business, but you don't spend money to get it. What you want to get is a high margin business. And you want to get the people that buy knowledge rather than price.
Gary, it was very, very, very nice talking to you and meeting you. I've learned a lot. I didn't know about divine business. I actually learned a lot. And it's very interesting, and your background is very interesting. And again, congrats on building such a successful business. And I'm glad that now Lord the Ford agency is part of COVU's family, and it's great.
All right. That sounds good. Well, I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
COVU, your partner to run and grow your P&C insurance book.